Welcome. We are going to look briefly at Bitcoin, and I'm going to talk to you about my new trading strategy and my calls on Twitter. And we will have a little philosophic discussion. And at the end, I'll tell you what my consulting fees are in case you are interested. So let's start. As always, I'm going to show you the text that I did write for you. I've translated it in 3 languages. English is the first one that I'm recording. Then I will record the French version and then the German version. Well, I think you don't care about the other versions, but I'm just telling you so you know that it's a lot of work to write the text in English and then translate it in 2 languages. Anyways, let's start. As always, I think you want to see the text because what is important, in my opinion, is not that you see me on the screen, but that I am as precise as possible. That's why I write the text, and then we can talk about it. But now I will go to screen share and show you the work I have done for today for you. Let's start. Okay, that's my text for today. I have worked a lot on my strategy, my BTC analysis. In addition, I have made it easier for you to understand. I have simplified as much as possible my strategy. Now my calls will be brief. I will only inform you when I think that you should exit your position from long to short or short to long. Right now, I cannot recommend more than 1x long or short because the environment is still risky. We are still and probably will stay in a bear market for quite some time. We need to establish higher highs and lower lows before we can declare that the bear market is over. With my strategy, it is possible to trade both. It can be used as well in a bear market as in a bull market. My last call was 1x long, and I have not exited that position until now, even if we did get really close to it, a couple of bucks lower, and if after analyzing the charts they told me to, I would have exited, but they did not, and we did not go lower for now. So this will not be too much chart analysis, but more an important talk about strategy. So I will show you the charts briefly and we will take a look, and I'll tell you when was the moment where I nearly told you to exit, but I did not because there was a reversal. On the 1 hour chart, there was a 9, and 9 normally gives 1 to 4 candles of reversal, as I always tell, as Tombays always says. And I watched the charts during 4 hours, not all the time, but I watched it, and there was the reversal. And then instead of going lower again, we did go higher. So there was a confirmation to the up, so I did not have to exit the position. But if that did not happen on the 1 hour chart, then I would have exited the position and I would have told you to do so. So now let's briefly look at BTC. So that's the current state of BTC, and the exiting position was here, around 7,217. So we did get very close to that point, and then there was for me nearly a sell signal because it was very risky on that candle number 3 when we went lower than the 7-day average MMA. it could have been, it was very close for a sell signal. So it did not fully, it was not a full sell signal, and then we did get that reversal candle. And from there on, we did go higher. So there was no reason of exiting. But here, nearly we did get an exit signal. So, okay, that's the current state, and I'm not going into more details because there's no point in doing this. I mean, Tonways does a lot, and Tyler Jennings does a lot. Follow those traders and learn from them. I did learn a lot from them, so that's what I recommend you. And as of my calls, I still give them on Twitter when they show up, and from time to time I make a market update. So here everything is fine. We are over all the moving averages on the 6-hour chart. Stop and reverse, both stop and reverse that you see, we went over them. This is a stop and reverse, and the blue one is a stop and reverse. The white dots are the parabolic stop and reverse, and we break over of them. So everything for now is pointing upwards, and we have a candle 2. Well, the only thing that is missing for the upward trend is that the candle 2 did not trade higher than the candle 1 for now here, but it did here over here. So it is still very bullish right now, and maybe this candle, the number 2, will trade higher than the candle number 1, and if it does not, there's a good chance that the candle number 3 will trade higher than the candle number 2. But in any case, you are fine as long as we don't go lower for now than 7,246.4. As long as we don't go lower than that point, that will change in 6 hours. That position will be, I will put it higher or lower. No, probably higher, not lower. But in 6 hours, or not even 6 hours, 4 hours and 50 minutes, and that's stop loss will be moved up. The stop loss changes a lot, but for me right now, with my new trading strategy, the stop loss is an alarm. It means it will ring on my phone, it will ring on my computer and tell me that I have to analyze the charts. And if we reach 7,246, I will analyze a lot the position and decide if I have to exit or not. If the long position that I recommended has to be exit or not. Exactly the same thing that I did when we had the candle number 3. So for now, if you cannot follow me on Twitter, and you cannot get my call once we reached 7,000, if we reach 7,246.4, if you cannot wait for my call when that happens, I mean, even if I sleep, I will wake up and look at the charts. So if you cannot wait for my call, then you could program a stop loss at that level and simply exit it. Because if we reach that level, the probability that I will tell you to exit are high. Not sure, but high. It will be exactly the same thing as when we reached the candle number 3. And as long as I don't give you a sell signal, then we are still bullish short term. Now we are only talking about short term. Long term, my analysis is still different, and I cannot declare the bear market over for now. But we will talk about that in a brief moment. Let's get back to my text. And for the charts, that's all I have to say. So if you don't care about the rest, maybe I get back once or twice, but I won't go over all the time frames, and I won't analyze it during a half an hour, because I think it's too much work and that not enough people are interested in. I mean, what you want to know is what you should do, or what I think you should do. And I'm the only trader that I know of that doesn't play both sides. Okay, all the traders that I know, or nearly all, they tell you, well, we can go up or we can go down, blah 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 blah. And And in the end, when they went up, then they tell you, I told you so. You see, we went up. And if we go down, they tell you the same thing. I told you so, we went down. In my case, I'm analyzing the chart and I tell you if we go up or down. Okay, I don't play both sides. And sometimes I'm right and sometimes I will be wrong. But I tested my strategy to death. I mean, I went over all the history of BTC and it works in most situations. Sometimes you will take a small loss, but the loss is nothing compared to the gains you make. The losses are small, the gains you make are open. I mean, here I only will exit the charts once return. Until return, I won't exit the charts. So, okay, sometimes my calls will not work out as they plan, and you will take a small loss. But you take a small loss maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times if you're very unlucky. That's the most, or maybe 4. I think I never saw more than that. It's 4 small losses. But the 5th gain you make pays all the losses and gives you a huge extra. So never, all that we are doing, all the technical analysis works up to a certain degree. It is never 100%. So I mean, the best tools you can use and the best traders only have a probability that is more than 50% of giving a right call. Okay, and a lot of them even have for a lot of them it's even difficult to have more than 50%, to be more than 50% of the time right. So, but as I tested it, it works fine, and I'm quite happy with my new strategy that I tweaked a bit. It's not exactly the same as it was during my last videos. I worked a lot on technical analysis since my last videos. Okay, let's go back to the text and go through the rest of the points I want to talk about today. So now my calls will be briefer. I will only inform you when I think that you should exit your position from long to short or short to long. Right now, I cannot recommend more than 1x short because the environment is still risky. We are still and probably will stay in a bear market for quite some time. We need to establish higher highs and higher lows before we can declare that the bear market is over. With my strategy, it is possible to trade both. It can be used as well in a bear market as in a bull market. And you can learn from me, and there will be a date where you don't have to watch my videos or listen to my calls on Twitter, and you simply can do your own analysis and do not have do not need my opinion. Once you have seen what I do long enough, you understand what I'm doing. Well, then I'm not sure that you will be a better trader than me, but you can try. Because trading is like it's some kind of art form. It's like painting. It's not because you went to an art school and you studied it and they told you how to mix the colors and all the rest. It's not because you learned that in school that you are a good painter. It's the same thing. I can talk to you about trading to infinity. That does not mean that there will be a day where you will be any good. Same thing applies to everyone. And it does not matter what teacher you choose. Well, it does, of course, but I mean, it's you. Either you have some capacity for trading or you don't. I mean, if you don't, you lose a lot of money. I know traders who lost in the current bear market 90% of their wealth, 90% of the capital. Okay, so I did not, but I know them. They think that everything is fine and that they will make so huge gains that they get with the 10% left, everything back and more. We will see about that. That's far from sure, but we will see. My last call was 1x long, and I have not exited that position until now, even if we did get really close to it. A couple of bucks lower, And if after analyzing the charts, they told me to, I would have exited, but they did not, and we did not go lower from now. I know I have read it twice, but since I start talking, sometimes I forget where we are. I should put the cursor where I stop. Well, anyway, let's go on. Trading takes discretion, wisdom, foresight, wit, I think you say wit, vigilance, and wakefulness. So all that is very hard, and not everybody is capable of doing it. It is, as Stoneways says, the hardest job on the planet. You have to analyze the charts over and over again. Moreover, be able to read them in order to see when you should exit or enter a position. And that's hard. I mean, most people can do that. They cannot tell you if the probability is higher to go high or low. Most people can't. Even after studying technical analysis, even after taking courses, even after having a diploma, even after listening to Stoneways, until death, they still cannot tell you if the charts are bullish or bearish. It's hard. It's hard. There are people who will never understand. There's nothing more I can tell you about that. Just there are people that are no good painting. I'm not good painting, so I will not even try. My trading strategy is different from other traders. I do not use just the same indicators in exactly the same manner. That's something you learn with time. With time, you will understand, you will develop your own strategy, and it will be a little different from other traders. You will understand what works, what you think works, and you will use those indicators and that strategy, and you won't use the strategies that you think are less good, less performing. But that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort before you can make that judgment call. And I do not think that you should not trade until the bear market is over. Telejanks does so, and Stoneways seems to suggest it. Well, Stoneways is a little, no, I don't want to say to badmouth him, because he's one of the traders I esteem, I have the most respect for. But he's still a case where he does not trade. So, I mean, it's easy to look at the charts and tell you what you should have done. It's very hard to admit that you are wrong and that some of your calls did not work out. So Stoneways does that too. He realizes when he's wrong and when his call was not right, but he does not trade. So if you do not trade, I mean, it's easy. It's like a painter, a professor. It's like a pianist who talks about piano but does not play. What is there to say? You should practice too. You should. Because you have to realize when it does not work, and if you and the markets tell you that. And if you realize that it does not work, you can work on yourself and you can improve. But if you do not trade, you won't realize when you are wrong, or you won't realize when your strategy does not work. And that is, in my opinion, a little risky. It's like if you are I'm a philosopher, so I believe in Stoicism, and I read a lot of Stoic books, and I practice Stoicism, and I try to improve myself. I'm writing a book about Stoicism. Okay, my life is Stoicism. And I would be an hypocrite if I would tell you that Stoicism is the best philosophy you can choose, the only one that provides happiness, the only one that provides security. I don't know what just happened. I hope that everything is all right, because man, what's wrong with the current technology? I hope that everything is all right. I don't want to start my work again. No? I have plenty of stuff to do today, and I really don't have time for technology issues. So I hope that everything is all right and that we can go on. Sorry for Zoom acting strange. It still says recording, so let's hope that it's still working. Okay, what I was saying is I would be an hypocrite if I would tell you that Stoicism is the law you should live and die after, okay, and not practice it. And I think there's some kind of and for me, it's not convincing. No, I like Tone Weiss, and it's no problem to me that he wants only to do the educational part and not trade himself. I have no problem with that. But I mean, if you believe in something, you should practice it. That's all I'm saying. I believe in Stoicism, and I do practice it. And I will do so until the day of my death. And I hope that I will die in a stoic way. So that's all I'm saying. It's easy to talk about something, but not practice it. And Tone Weiss should take a couple of hours a day and trade, just to see how his strategy works when it's put to the test. That's all I'm saying. Now, after that saying, please let me add that Tone Weiss is one of the best traders, if not the best traders, if not the best trader out there, and that I really, really, really appreciate his work. I'm not bad-mouthing him, and I don't want to disrespect him. I'm just telling you that you should practice what you teach. That's all. Okay. Trading is risky. I know that, and after that I said that, two traders will have different opinion and different strategies. So it's normal that my strategy will be a little different than Tone Weiss, and the Tone Weiss strategy is a little different than Tyler Jenks. But still, I would appreciate if you practice what you teach. That's all I'm saying. Trading is risky, I know that. And this is why I do not recommend it for most people. They do not have the money or the intellectual capacity. If they trade, they will only lose their investment. Not trading in a bear market is a holding strategy, which has nothing to do with trading. You are making a bet that in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years, the price of BTC will be much higher. You probably will win that bet. I give it 7 out of 10 that you will. But do you have the capital? And do you have 5 to 50 years ahead of you? Can you wait that long without touching your capital? You should know if you are hodling, or trading. You should know if you should hodl or trade. If you cannot make up your mind, I will analyze your financial situation and tell you if you should trade or hodl. However, I will charge you for looking into your personal case 500 USD for 30 to 60 minutes of my time. That's the time I will spend with you, and I will go into details. You have to provide me some information so that I can look into your case if you want me to give you some financial advice. So that will take a little time, maybe 15 to 60 minutes too. So I will take some time to prepare for the interview, and then I will tell you my conclusion. And after that I told you my conclusion in a written form or an audio video form, I will take your questions. But if I do that, it won't be free. It will cost you 500 USD. My calls, my BTC analysis are still free. All the work I do online is free. And when my Stoic book will be published, I will put a free version online. It's a lifetime's work. I did put all my dedication, passion, talent, and effort in it. I want there to be a free version so that as many people as possible can read it, learn from it, and become a better person for themselves and others, so that they can be happier. For me, there cannot be happiness without stoicism. So I'm not defending why there cannot be, in my opinion, happiness without stoicism. If you want to know that, you have to read my book or listen to other stoic people. I don't have the time here, and that's not the place to do it. But I can explain to you why that is. But I won't do it here. So and it's interesting. I think it's interesting, but you cannot do everything at the same moment. So if I do that, I'll make another video. And anyways, I think that for that, the written version, a book is much better. However, if you want a personal consultation where I will tell you what you can and should do financially, it will not be free. That is work just for you. And if you want it, you will have to pay for it. Know that you are lucky. I only charge 500 USD for 30 minutes to 6 minutes. That's the time I spent with you. Okay. To analyze your situation, the documents you sent me, it will be longer. But anyways, I won't spend more than 2 hours maximum on your case for that amount. If you want more, then you will have to pay more. In the future, this amount could be much higher because it is, for me, a waste of time. I mean, if I answer your question and I look into your affairs, what's in it for me? It's total waste of time. Even the 500 bucks, that's not much. Where I live, that's not much. So it's not interesting for me. I know much better things to do to make money than that. So if I do that, it's only to help, okay? Because I think it's important that people like me always take time to explain stuff to other people. But I get nothing out of it answering your question and looking into your financial situation. I get nothing out of it. It does not amuse me. I rather spend the time writing my book. I rather spend the time practicing some arts like the piano than looking into your affairs and telling you what you should do. And in most of the time, most of the case, one, people don't understand, and two, people don't want to do it anyway. So it's more or less a waste of time. But if you are willing to pay, then I will offer you my service because I want to help people. I want to tell them what is possible, because most of them have no clue. Even if they are extremely rich, they have no clue. In the future, this amount could be much higher because it is, for me, a waste of time. You are the only one that profits from my advice. The amount you make because of my advice could be huge. We are easily talking about millions. If you have some money and will follow my advice, you make millions and I only 500 USD? How stupid can I be? Why do I offer you this service for such a low amount? Okay, I'm not telling you this because I want people to pay my fees. That's not the point. It's that I really think that it is extremely interesting from a financial point of view. There are a lot of financial instruments, not just BTC, but a lot of financial instruments at our disposal today. And if you know how to use them, it can be extremely interesting from a financial point of view. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. If you are not in a situation, not because I want you to pay my fees, I don't care about that. If you are not in a a situation where you can trade, invest, or hodl. In a situation where no financial product is at your disposal because you are too poor, then I will tell you that, and you won't lose your time or money trying to achieve what is impossible. I just want to tell you that there's a difference between philosophy and economics. Philosophy and stoicism is for everybody. It does not matter where you are or where you live. It does not matter if you're free or if you're in prison. It does not matter if you're rich or poor. It does not matter if you are young or old. Philosophy and stoicism is for everybody. I mean, everybody can access it. When I'm talking about financial instruments, when I'm talking about money, it's only for an elite. Tonway says that it is the playground of the rich. So I want to lower the barrier as much as possible. But if I look at your situation and I see that it's impossible for you to make investments because you simply don't have the financial possibility to do so, you're not in a financial situation that allows you to do so, then that's what I will tell you. So the difference between economics and philosophy is that philosophy stoicism is for everybody in a situation. Economics only touches some people, so just a selected few that have enough wealth to spend on it. So I'll lower the barrier as much as possible. I can tell you like this because it depends on your situation and where you live. But even if I lower it as much as possible for you, I mean, I'm only charging 500. I could charge 5,000 or 50,000 for the advice that I give you, but I'm only charging 500. It's to lower the amount and make it possible for as much people possible. But if you even can pay that, I mean, there's no point of talking. In that case, it's better you don't ask me for advice. It's better you do something else. It's better if you do something else in that case. Just try to eat, try to have a roof about your head, try to accomplish the basic necessity of life. Don't think about investing. Unfortunately, you are not in a position where you can do that. That's capitalism. If you want something else, go for a resource-based economy as defined by Jacques Fresco. That's the real solution. But until we have that, we have to live in our monetary system under capitalism. And the rules are strict, they have no pity, and they don't care about you or your feelings or what you think. It's capitalism. They let you die in the streets. They don't care about you, and they never did, and they never will. Sorry. Go for something else. Go for a resource-based economy if you don't like that. Paying 500 USD for not wasting your time and your resources, your effort is worth it. As you see, you cannot lose if you pay my honorarium. Only if you think that my advice for your case is bad, then do not follow it. But if you can see why it is bad, maybe you are able to see what the right thing for you is. And even in this case, I did help you. And it was worth paying my honorarium. So if you're more clever than me and you understand and why my advice for you would be bad, in that case, one, you don't have to consult me, and two, you learn by default. I mean, you learn by realizing errors. So if you think that what I'm telling you is wrong, then you do the opposite. And maybe you don't take all, but just 50%, 10%, or 0%. It's up to you. I mean, what you do is your problem. I'm only analyzing your situation and telling you what is possible financially in your case, in my opinion. Okay, go to somebody else, go to Tyler Jenks, go to Tone Ways, and if they do the same thing than I do, I'm not sure they do, but if they do, then they give you their opinion. You can do whatever you like. I don't care about that. I do not care if you pay my fees or if you listen or not to my advice. Just I do not care if you follow me on Twitter or watch my videos. I do it because it is an exercise where I can practice economy. Because as a child and young man, I would have been glad to pay for that kind of advice. It would have made out of me a multimillionaire without working a single hour of my life. I would have paid 10x times or 100 times this amount to get that counseling. It would have been the best investment I could have done, but I only received expensive legal advice that never allowed me to earn a cent. My work on the internet, my Stoic and my Stoic book are free. There will also be a printed version which won't be free. But my consulting fees for now are what they are. If you want a philosophic consultation and not a financial one, I would charge you the same amount. This actually would be a wise decision because Stoicism is much more important than money. They can take your financial assets from you or prohibit you from using them. They will never be able to take your courage, your moral elevation from you. You can achieve that by placing yourself higher than fortune. Even if you get rich, you still need Stoicism to know what to choose and what to avoid. The art of living is more important than the means of living. But people only care about money, and that is why they are and will be poor, financially, and what is even worse, morally. And if they get rich, they do not know what to do with their money. I say it again and close on that statement. Stoicism philosophy is more important than economics. The art of living is more important than the management of your resources. When you hold the first, the second is easy. So what I'm saying is if you hold the first, the art of living, then the second one is easy, the management of your resources. For more information on the possibility to consult me, as well as the means of paying my fees, I will post a separate video that will have a title of consultation. Thank you for watching this video and see you soon. Okay, bye-bye. I really hope that I did not waste my time and that Zoom did not screw up my recording, because I do not want to do this again. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for watching this video. See you soon. I'm stopping the recording. Stop share and stop the recording.